The animals we're gonna tell you about this episode deserve all the praise in the world. They're real heroes. Here's 10 animals that performed heroic deeds. This spotted kitty named Scarlet is often called the fiery heroine who's had several books written about her. In 1996, she was then a homeless kitty and saved her 5 kittens from a fire. She carried them out one by one, risking her own life. Immediately after, word got out about her heroic deeds. The New York League for Animal Protection received more than 7,000 applications for Scarlet and her kitten's adoption. The person who ended up adopting her was another heroic woman from Brooklyn, Karen Wallen, that loved Scarlet up until her last days. Once an owner by the name of Joe Stallnicker got himself a German Shepherd, whom he called Buddy, and soon after adopting him, decided to teach him how to call 911. Joe oftentimes fell unconscious due to epileptic seizures he had from time to time, and knew one day it might come in handy. In 2008, emergency services received a strange phone call from a dog. Buddy had the phone clutched in his mouth and whined and barked. When paramedics arrived, they saw it wasn't all in vain. Joe had fallen unconscious due to a seizure that could have ended up with serious consequences. Thanks, Buddy. It was a parrot named Willie that had saved Hannah when she started to suffocate choking on her breakfast. The parrot began to cause alarm, shaking its wings, making very loud noises, and crying out, "Mama, baby, mama, baby." Megan Howard rushed over to see what was going on, right in time, as Hannah's entire face had turned blue as she choked on her Pop-Tart. Both the parrot's owner and Hannah's nanny were able to save her right in time because of Willie, the parrot's good work. An English Cocker Spaniel called Honey and his owner, Michael Bosk, got caught in a serious car accident on a deserted road. Michael's car flipped and he was pinned inside, but was able to release his 5-month-old pup in hopes that he could do something. Honey was able to alarm a group of people and bring them to the scene of the accident. As paramedics later put it, it was Honey that saved his life. Marilyn and her husband were both relaxing at the beach along with their chihuahua, Chi-Chi, who usually was very calm, but all at once began to run about and cause a scene, trying to carry away a chair that was tied down to the water. As it turned out, he was trying to call attention to a couple of older ladies that were drowning. Because of Chi-Chi, Marilyn and her husband were able to rescue the damsels in distress. A kitty named Pudding managed to save her owner's life the very day she was brought home from the animal clinic. Amy Young had diabetes that affected her sugar levels, and on that day she fell into a diabetic coma, from which she couldn't wake on her own. Pudding began to headbutt her and bite her to get her up, but Amy couldn't do much on her own or call out for her son for help. That's when Pudding rushed into his room and began biting and nudging him. Pudding called attention to Amy, and that's how she saved her owner from what could have ended up being a tragedy. A miniature horse called Magic works with patients with various diseases and health complications who need support and attention. She's brought to health clinics, retirement homes, and other medical facilities. Magic the pony received an award for the most heroic animal of 2010 after she was brought to a retirement home to a new patient that hadn't spoken to anyone in 3 years. When she saw Magic, she said her first words, "How beautiful." Afterwards, she began talking to medical personnel in the facility as well as other patients. Another kitty named Schnalty began behaving very strangely at 2 in the morning, jumping on her sleeping owner and nudging her to wake up, pawing at her nose. Her owner awoke and saw that her kitty was very alarmed and seemed to be sniffing the air, hinting at something being amiss. As it turned out, the gas line in the home had broken and was releasing toxic and highly combustible gas into their dwelling. The gas had already filled up their basement. Later, firefighters notified the owner that if any more gas had gathered, an explosion could have taken place. After her daring rescue, Schnalty received an animal rescue award called the Purple Paw. Brad Grint and his 15-year-old pooch Effie decided to take a walk, and not long after, Effie started to behave strangely. She pulled her master's leash in an entirely different direction, which was very strange for Effie, who never gave her owner any problems before. The owner decided to release the dog, and Effie picked up and ran quickly to the rescue of a 94-year-old man who was freezing in an outhouse. He was just about frozen to death. Rescue workers managed to get him out from where he was trapped, although he ended up passing away a couple of days later. Fortunately, he did receive medical aid, and that's all thanks to Effie. In August 2007, Todd Angus was surfing on a California beach and was attacked by a shark. Todd began to lose lots of blood very quickly as the shark was ready to kill. Todd did not expect himself to survive. As he describes it, right as the shark was about to finish him, a school of 3 or 4 dolphins came to his rescue and fended off the shark and assisted him on getting back ashore. And that was this heroic episode of High Five. If you haven't already, go ahead and adopt a cat or a dog. Who knows, later they may save your life too. And go ahead and high five that like button and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.